The most powerful leader in the world extends his hand with not just one incredible offer, but 7 separate proposals that could transform an entire nation overnight. And that nation? Jamaica. The leader? Donald Trump. The response? A resounding rejection to every single proposal. Today, we're diving deep into these extraordinary negotiations that most people never heard about. Some will call Jamaica's decisions courageous, others will say they were absolutely insane. But by the time we're done here, you'll have a completely different perspective on Caribbean politics and international power plays. The luxury resort empire that never was. Let's start with something that sounds like a dream come true. Trump's organization wanted to construct a massive luxury resort complex in Montego Bay. We're talking about a full-scale Trump Tower experience right on Jamaica's pristine coastline. The proposal included thousands of employment opportunities, significant tourism revenue, and what seemed like a golden ticket to economic prosperity. Trump's team was offering substantial tax incentives for the development and requesting exclusive access to prime beachfront property. So why would Jamaica walk away from this? The answer reveals everything about Jamaica's approach to foreign investment. Local officials worried that the tax exemptions would drain government coffers of millions in potential revenue. Even more concerning, the possibility that ordinary Jamaicans would be priced out of their own homeland. Jamaica already had a thriving tourism sector. The question became, why hand over the most valuable coastal real estate to a foreign billionaire when local development could provide similar benefits without the strings attached? The military base proposal that stunned the Caribbean. Now imagine this scene. American warships patrolling Caribbean waters just off Jamaica's coast. U.S. military personnel stationed permanently on the island. This wasn't science fiction. It was a serious proposal from the Trump administration. The official reasoning centered on combating drug trafficking, enhancing regional security, and countering China's growing influence in the Caribbean. The package included billions in infrastructure investment, enhanced security cooperation, and significant job creation in construction and base operations. On paper, it looked like a winning arrangement. So what went wrong? Jamaica's response was swift and uncompromising. The memory of British colonial controls still runs deep in Jamaican society, and many viewed a U.S. military presence as simply colonialism with a different flag. There were serious concerns about sovereignty. Would American military personnel be subject to Jamaican law if incidents occurred? History suggests otherwise. Jamaica has fiercely protected its independence since 1962, and allowing a superpower to establish a permanent military footprint crossed a red line for many citizens. The deportation deal that sparked controversy. Here's where the negotiations became particularly contentious. Trump's team pushed for an agreement that would streamline deportations of Jamaican immigrants, reducing legal protections and accelerating the removal process. The U.S. framed this as targeting criminal elements, but Jamaican officials saw it differently. They feared mass deportations would overwhelm their social services and destabilize families who had built lives in America. Jamaica's government took a principled stance, refusing to compromise on protecting their citizens abroad, even if it meant strained relations with their powerful neighbor. The energy deal that could have changed everything. What if I told you Jamaica had the opportunity to become the energy powerhouse of the Caribbean? That's exactly what Trump's oil and gas proposal promised. A complete transformation of the island's economic landscape. Major American energy corporations, including industry giants like Exxon and Chevron, were prepared to invest billions in offshore drilling operations. The deal included cutting-edge technology to tap into Jamaica's unexplored oil and gas reserves, potentially ending the island's dependence on expensive energy imports. It sounds like an obvious win, right? So why did Jamaica say no? Jamaica's leadership was determined to avoid repeating historical mistakes where foreign companies extracted wealth, while locals saw minimal benefits. They pointed to other Caribbean nations, where similar deals left citizens worse off despite the initial promises. There was also the environmental factor. Jamaica's tourism and fishing industries could be devastated by a major oil spill. The government decided that long-term sustainability was more valuable than short-term profits. The visa-free travel trap. Picture this. No more visa interviews, no more agonizing waits, no more uncertainty. Jamaicans could have traveled to America as easily as Europeans do. But there was a catch that made this offer impossible to accept. The visa waiver program came with conditions that Jamaica's government found unacceptable. The U.S. demanded accelerated deportation agreements, complete biometric data sharing, and stricter immigration controls that would have restricted Jamaican citizens' own travel freedoms. Jamaica's leaders viewed this as digital colonialism. Why should a foreign government have more data on Jamaican citizens than Jamaica itself? The response was clear. We don't sell our people. Jamaica was willing to maintain the current, more difficult visa process, rather than compromise their citizens' privacy and dignity. The agricultural takeover plan, Trump's team also proposed a comprehensive agricultural partnership that would have seen American agribusiness dominate Jamaica's farming sector. The promise was modernization and increased productivity through advanced technology and farming techniques. But Jamaica's agricultural leaders saw this as a threat to local farmers who could be squeezed out by massive American corporations. The government chose to protect its agricultural independence rather than risk losing food security to foreign control. The ultimate geopolitical test, the most shocking proposal of all, Trump reportedly asked Jamaica to distance itself from China in exchange for preferential treatment across all areas of cooperation. This wasn't just about economics, it was about choosing sides in a new Cold War. Jamaica would have been forced to abandon lucrative infrastructure projects and economic partnerships with China in favor of exclusive alignment with the United States. Jamaica's response demonstrated remarkable diplomatic courage. They refused to become a pawn in superpower competition, choosing instead to maintain relationships with both nations on their own terms. The final verdict, 7 offers, 7 rejections. Was this a small island nation showing incredible backbone, or did they miss the opportunities of a lifetime? Jamaica's decisions reveal a country that values sovereignty over short-term gains, dignity over convenience, and independence over dependence. Whether these choices will benefit Jamaica in the long run remains to be seen. But one thing is absolutely certain. This small Caribbean nation proved that size doesn't determine strength when it comes to standing up for your principles. Now I want to hear from you. What do you think? Were Jamaica's rejections brilliant strategic moves that protected their sovereignty? Or were they costly mistakes that threw away billions in potential development? Here's what I really want to know. If you were Jamaica's prime minister, which of these 7 deals would you have been most tempted to accept? The luxury resort that could have transformed tourism? The military base that promised security but threatened independence? Or maybe the visa-free travel that would have made life easier for thousands of Jamaican families? Drop your hottest takes in the comments section below. I read every single one, and I love debating these complex issues with you. Are you Team Jamaica for standing firm on their principles, or Team Trump for offering genuine opportunities for growth? And if this deep dive into Caribbean geopolitics blew your mind like it did mine, don't just scroll away. Hit that like button to show your support. It genuinely helps us reach more people who need to hear these untold stories. Subscribe and ring that notification bell because we're just getting started with these explosive international stories that the mainstream media won't touch. Next week, we're diving into China's secret deals with 3 African nations that could reshape the entire continent. Want to support investigative content like this? Check out the support options in the description below. Thanks for watching. And remember, sometimes the most powerful word in politics is simply no. See you in the next one.